Hello, everyone. What day is it? Happy Thursday. Oh, this is my favorite day of the week. Do you know that? There's something about Thursdays. That's cozy. We're finally back in the same country. So happy about it. It's your girl, Jasmine Kylene. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I was going to say good morning, and it's fully 4 o'clock. I am coming to you live to talk a little bit about the full moon in Aries this weekend, which I want to give you all of the tea, how to work with it, how to alchemize its potency and its power for your own personal use. Hi, but funny enough that you're joining me. But I, before that, want to share that if you are in the South Florida area, we are actually, my beautiful, beautiful charisma dance fitness partner over here, we are hosting a full moon ceremony where we're going to be doing a dance class that is root chakra themed. We're going to be, oh my God, we're going to be dancing out any stagnant energy in our root chakras, releasing a lot of energy with the fire burning ceremony. We're also going to be having a drumming circle going on. It's going to be the vibes this Sunday, October 9th, period, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are in South Florida, please feel free to join us. The link and all of that information is on my page and in my bio. And also feel free to download our full 45-minute length dance class, chakra dance class. It's super exciting. It's a great workout and also a great healing session. So all of that information is on my page and in my bio. But otherwise, I wanted to talk a little bit about what the energy is right now, because it's giving transformation. It's giving burning down old bridges and building down new ones in the same breath. And this is for several reasons. So I'll go over a little bit about like what you may be feeling and how to work with it. The first thing that I want to say is let's just celebrate the fact that we survived Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is over. And not only do we have Mercury retrograde ending, but Saturn retrograde is ending soon, and Pluto retrograde is ending, I think, in like 2 days, which is beautiful because as this retrograde season begins to sort of come back to shore, we are being invited to, or rather not, we're being gifted a lot of clarity, right? This is the post-retrograde clarity. And it's funny because I saw somebody tweet, why are so many, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been so many like divorce announcements in like the celebrity world. And everyone was like, why are so many couples breaking up during Libra season when it's supposed to be like this sort of like unified time? And it's because of this post-retrograde clarity. A lot of people are sort of coming out of the funk of being trapped in their own thoughts or trapped behind the illusion of something and kind of seeing the clarity and the truth of it. So know that we have access to such clarity right now as we not only move towards all of these retrogrades ending, but also like this full moon in Aries. So what I love about this full moon is that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the initiation. It's the beginning. Aries, if you know any Aries in your life, you know that they sort of embody the child, the rebel, moving forward, that like not stubborn, what's the word that I'm looking for? Impulsive energy, right? And so this is beautiful because when we use this energy to our benefit, it is a cardinal sign that is all about initiation and doing and going. And so now that we have these retrogrades ending, particularly Mercury retrograde ending, which its shadow period is ending on the day of this full moon. So it's a beautiful opportunity for like initiation and doing. And whatever you were pausing or overthinking before, now is a gorgeous opportunity to like restart and to reinitiate and to use this energy to actually fuel, okay, now that I've sort of sat in a lot of introspection, sat in some stillness, gotten some clarity, gotten some reflection in me, what do I want to do with this newfound information? So it's a beautiful opportunity for fresh starts. Like I said, Aries is a cardinal sign alongside Capricorn, Libra, Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer. They're the cardinal signs, so they're all about initiation and doing and going and starting. Let's walk that moonswalk, honey. That's on period. I'm excited about this full moon, honestly, because, well, the thing about it, right, is that because this is such an opportunity for taking leaps, for initiation, for doing, for taking aligned action. This isn't just like doing something for the sake of doing it, but rather, what have you been reflecting on? What have you realized, like, oh shit, I actually really do want to do that thing, or I actually don't want to do that thing at all, or am I brave enough to take this pivot in my career, or in my identity, or wherever the case may be? Great leaps of faith also call for confrontation of the fears that have stopped you from taking that leap before and the wounds that lie underneath those fears. So understand that this full moon is also conjunct Chiron. If you know anything about Chiron, you know Chiron represents our wounds, and it represents, it's the wounded healer. So it's kind of showing us where we alchemize our power through transmuting it by confronting and witnessing our fears and our wounds and our suffering and how what happened to us actually happened for us. So understand that when you, yes, exactly, show us how good it gets. That like phrase has been coming up for me so often recently, and I'm sitting with it. But yes, honestly, that's exactly it. When we confront why we haven't wanted to take this leap before, we have to confront the wound that informed the fear, that informed that blockage. So understand that if you are feeling this call for initiation, this call to do, this call to action, and this can be a physical thing that you initiate, but this could also be a shift or a change in mindset and habit, ending or starting a relationship, whatever the case may be, know that alongside that, you may have to confront the wounds and the fears that kept you limited in that space, and recognize that sometimes healing it is confronting it. Like, I am such an advocate for recognizing the fact that half of the work is done when you just admit that there's work to be done. Like, I think just becoming aware of our cycles, aware of our habits, aware of the ways in which we stand in our own way is how we get out of our own way. Because then once you see it, you can't quite unsee it, and you'll recognize when you're feeding it, or you'll recognize when you're falling victim to it. And that's kind of how the shift begins to start. So just know that if you are called to do something right now, you may be called to look at why you haven't done it yet, the wound that informed why you haven't done it yet. And that in itself is a huge step towards healing, or the healing in itself. Another thing that I have been doing a lot in my own personal practice that I would invite you to do is ask yourself the why behind everything, especially as you initiate what this really is, which is essentially an ushering in of a new era. There's going to be a lot of newness coming in, and you want to ask yourself the why behind everything that you were inviting in and everything that you were doing right now. So I have been practicing this like in the most micro ways. Like, I wanted to post a photo on Instagram. Mind you, I ended up posting it anyway, so it's the human in me, babe. But like, as I was about to post it, I was like, why am I doing this? Is this because this is a photo that I want to share, or do I want validation that I know the photo will give me? And really getting to the root and becoming the observer of all of your actions and the thought processes behind your actions and the subconscious and unconscious layers beyond and beneath why you are doing what you are doing, you will begin to understand how you operate and which programs you're operating by. So if you are someone who doesn't recognize the fact that you do a lot of what you do for the sake of externally resourced validation, that's going to become sort of something that is in your orbit of awareness. The more that you ask yourself, why do I want to do that thing? Why do I want to be seen in that light? Why do I want to initiate this thing? Why don't I want to initiate this thing? What is the why? Ask yourself the why when it comes to what you are eating, who you are speaking to, the favors that you are doing, and also the bigger things in your life. So like, why do I want to, embark in this creative path or in this career path? Just asking yourself why is going to really inform you who your true leader is. And that's a lot. And that's a dense thing to say. But we don't realize who we are living in devotion for until we begin to break it down by asking ourselves the simple whys behind all of our actions. Just an invitation. Do with that what you will. It's a bit large, but do with it what you will. Otherwise, we are nearing eclipse season. So whatever you aren't confronting right now will confront you as eclipse season initiates. I'm always very weary of eclipse seasons. I'm not one to fearmonger, and I think that everything is happening for us. I think the planets are always working for us as long as we work alongside them. However, eclipse seasons are always difficult to predict. So I am always a little bit like, I tread lightly when it comes to eclipse seasons, but they're coming up. Retrograde avalanche, yes. 100%. Oh, this is petty. That's the thing. I mean, well, yeah, like I said, Saturn retrograde is ending, Pluto retrograde is ending, Mercury retrograde is over. We have we have a couple more retrogrades. All of the retrogrades will be done by March 2023. And in March 2023, Saturn is moving into Pisces. So there's going to be a huge shift in energy March 2023. So like, if you are just feeling like I'm crawling through life right now, understand that just get to March. Just get to March, and if anything is feeling like it's resistance, there will be opening of blockages around then. There'll be a shift in tides. But yes, know that we are nearing eclipse season, so obviously as we get closer to any of the eclipse transits, I'll come back on to talk a little bit about how to work with them. But just know that like, if you're being invited to confront anything right now, it's within your best interest to confront it right now, because if you put it off, eclipse season has this habit of forcing us to look at things instead of, eclipse seasons aren't as gentle with that kind of stuff. So just warning, not warning, but just be aware of that. Just get to March. Yeah, I'm over here like, Josh, like, get to March. But yeah, like I said, this full moon in Aries is giving very much Chariot energy. If you're familiar with the tarot, it's Chariot energy. It's Eight of Wands energy. It's very much initiation going. And what's beautiful, if you know any Aries in your life, and I have one particular friend, a close friend who's an Aries, and one thing about her, she gonna want to argue, she gonna get angry. She has this like access to rage that I've always really admired, because I'm someone who's much more docile and I can just like let so much slide, and I sometimes I want to have a more intimate relationship with anger. But what I will say about Aries, right, they're rebels without a cause. They love to debate and argue and build with that destruction. Understand that because we're in this energy, you're going to want to use that sort of that energy to your own benefit. So when it comes to anger, when it comes to rage, we can demonize them, because I think societally they've been demonized in order to keep us obedient. That's a whole other thing. The point is that when we have access to this kind of energy, understand that rage and anger can be alchemized as passion and forward movement. And if you are feeling angry about something, that's information. That's information that something needs to change. And when we use that emotion as fuel for how we create, how we go forward, and how we do, we can give birth to an entirely new paradigm. So if you are feeling angry or frustrated or fed the fuck up or just enraged, especially when it comes to like systematic things, like I've just been seeing things play out on a collective level, on a political level, that enrages me. And it's beautiful to understand the fact that like that rage, that anger is an invitation towards change and an invitation towards burning down what you'll no longer feed or operate in, and rebuilding through that alchemy of passion, if that makes sense. Sometimes I just say words and I hope that somewhere they land. But yes, if you're feeling rage, use it as information for how you need to radically change either a perspective, a habit, or a system that you are feeding or operating in. And otherwise, yeah, like I said, this full moon is a beautiful opportunity for a fresh start. It's about to get better. Yes, I feel like the eclipse season that we're coming towards is going to kind of be the head. And like I was just saying, honestly, March is when we're really going to be seeing a shift in energy. So if you have like a bunker, if you just want to stay in until March. And honestly, that is a joke, but also not at all. Hold on, I have to bring this up. I'll bring that up after. But like, I would consider creating sort of like an energetic bunker. Like the safety that comes with knowing that you can go into a physical bunker, what does that look like energetically? So if that means that no matter what's going on externally, communally, societally, politically, socially, I know that my bunker looks like every morning going to the beach or going to nature and immersing myself, or listening to music, listening to this specific playlist, listening to this podcast, whatever your like mental escape and your spiritual escape and your energetic escape looks like, really making sure that you have full devotion to it, would be something to do. So drugs. I've been microdosing and it's been great for me. That's all I'm gonna say. I lastly want to say that the card that I pulled for the energy, I hadn't even really done this sort of like breakdown before I pulled this, so it makes sense that they coincide quite well. But new beginnings, number 24, take a fresh look at life. Like I said, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so anytime we have a full moon transit or just a moon transit at all in Aries, there is an opportunity for newness. So use this post-retrograde, this post-nut clarity to like create something new for yourself that is aligned, that's authentic, that's true, and live in that. So with that being said, beautiful, they're amazing, yeah. Something about psilocybin will really do it for you. Happy post Mercury retrograde. If you are in the South Florida area, feel free to celebrate this full moon with us. Otherwise, this conjunct Chiron is a great opportunity for healing. So understand that great leaps of faith call for fears to be confronted and the wounds beneath those fears. So stay sane. Post-nut clarity will really do it. Use any rage and anger that you are feeling as fuel for change. Destruction is birth and reconstruction all in the same breath. And I'm sending you my love, darling. Reach out to me personally if you need any, guidance. And otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.